back at it again to the basics with the white bands. Today we're going to talk about writing things as function rules. What's a function rules? Is directions to help us live and go through our daily lives? No. A function rule is just y equals blah, 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 or f of x equals blah, blah, blah. Anytime we see the word output, that's the y value. Anytime we see the word input, that's the x value. So let's write some function rules, shall we? The output, y, is equals the cube of the input. So input cubed. Done. The output, y, is 3 less than, which means I take away 3, the input. Fun fact, if you see the word than, just switch them. So I know you want to say 3 minus x, but you're actually taking away 3, which means minus 3. The output, y, is equals half of the input, x. The output, y, is equals 1 more than, so I see that word than again, so why don't I put 1 at the end, and if it's more, you're adding, twice the input. All right? Function rules. Now I'm going to evaluate the function. So I'm given y equals fx minus 7. Great. Oh, and y equals negative 22. So what I have to do is I have to substitute in negative 22 for y, and in this case, solve for x. I can handle that. This is just like chapter 1. So instead of y, I'm going to write out negative 22 equals 5x minus 7. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? 5. Anything else? Negative 7. So I can add 7 to both sides, cross you out. Negative 22 plus 7 is negative 15. Negative 15 equals 5y. X, just kidding. X, is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? 5. Divide everything by 5. And negative 3 equals x. But I hate the way that looks because I always believe that your variable should be on the left. So if negative 3 is x, then x is negative 3. Cool. Y equals 3x plus 2 and x equals 0.5. All right, so I'm going to rewrite that equation, but instead of x, I'm going to put 0.5. So this is actually a little bit friendlier than the last one because I don't really have to solve for anything. All I have to do is do some math. 3 times half is 1.5, and 1.5 plus 2 is 3.5. Cool. No. Y equals x over 4 minus 7, and y is 2. So let's turn y into 2, and that's going to equal x over 4 minus 7. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? Divided by 4 and minus 7. So why don't I add 7, 2 plus 7 is 9, equals x over 4. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? 4. How do I get rid of divided by 4? Multiply 4. 4 times 9 is 36 equals x. If x is 36, or I'm sorry, if 36 is x, I'd rather write it out as x is 36. It just looks better. See, I even accidentally said it correctly when I meant to say it wrong. Look at that. Graph the equat. Okay. By making a table. Oh no. My picture is completely ruined. Well, let's see if I can do anything. Let's see if I can move anything. Nope. So I guess when I turn this into a little smartboard thing, it didn't work. Let's add 4. How about that? So I'm just going to make it 4 now. I have y equals x over 4 plus 4. I want to make a table of points that I can graph. So this is called a t-table. And a t-table is when you just pick a bunch of x values, plug them in, and get a bunch of y values. So I'm always going to start out with x is 0 to start out. And what I do is I plug 0 into my original equation, do some math, and see what y I get. So if I plug in 0 for x, I get 0 divided by 4, which is 0, plus 4 is 4. So that gives me the point 0, 4. Now, what I don't want to do is try 1. Why? If I plug in 1, I would get 1 over 4 plus 4, which is 4.25. And I guess it's possible, but I'm going to be a little clever here. I'm going to plug in 4, because if I plug in 4 for x, 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So that gives me the point 4, 5. Now, common sense would tell me, let's plug in 8. But guess what? I can't. I can only plug in, and if you're wondering why, 8's not there. So I have one more option that I can plug in, -4. Now, if you're like, do we always have to plug in those points? No, if you wanted to plug in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, be my guest, be my guest. But I'm plugging in points that seem to be convenient for me. Besides, I already know how to graph this guy because I've done these things before. Tons of them. If I plug in -4, I would get -4 divided by 4, which is -1. And -1 plus 4 is -3. So that would give me the point, +3. That would give me the point -4, +3. I have 3 dots, and that's all I need to draw my line. So I already know how to graph, but this is just like, hey, try it out in a different way. And so I did. Functions. You can't spell function without fun. That's what I always say. Bye.